1. Go, go, go!
There's a particular kind of joy to top-down races. The kind where tiny cars just whip around oversized environments, where chaos and charm go hand in hand. And I've been chasing that feeling ever since playing Ignition on my PC many years ago. It was a 90s classic that delivered fast, frantic racing from a bird's eye view, and I couldn't get enough of it. Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC immediately caught my eye because it looked like it could recapture some of that spirit, somewhere in between Micro Machines and that vibe of Ignition that I loved so many years ago. So when a review copy skidded into my inbox, I was ready to get behind the wheel once more. What's it like? Fasten your seatbelt, turn the key, and put the pedal to the metal as we review Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC for Nintendo Switch. Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC offers a rather basic arcade racing experience structured around the standard Grand Prix mode. Players progress through 4 series, which consists of Novice, Junior, Senior, and Pro, and each series consists of a set of short races. The fast nature of these races make them ideal for quick play sessions, such as during a school pickup or waiting at the doctor's office. The controls are responsive, and pulling off a perfect drift around a corner is particularly satisfying as the game leans more into a pick up and play sort of vibe, making it accessible without being overly challenging. This is a strength and a weakness. While overtaking the pack and sliding through corners proves to be a good time initially, the limited variety in modes and a lack of multiplayer tend to lead to a repetitive gameplay loop. And some players might find that excitement wears a little too thin rather quickly due to the game's simplicity. There are a few cars to choose from and some to unlock, but from my experience, they only seem to be cosmetically different. What initially drew me to the game was its art direction, reminiscent of the Micro Machine games of old with the stylized chibi type race cars and low poly environments. The graphics are serviceable, and the car models are varied enough to help you differentiate yourself from the crowd. Courses do have minor details, but they don't do a lot to mix it up, and it gives the game a rather basic feel. But that being said, the game keeps the action running silky smooth with no hiccups or frame rate drops to ensure your laps tend to run better than your driving skill in both docked and handheld mode. I think my main issue with Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC is that it's just a very basic game. All the fundamentals are certainly there, from the smooth driving model, the basic art style, and the so-so sound design. But there's a real lack of additional extras that make the game go from being good to great. I feel like after you've completed the first series of races, you've pretty much seen everything Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC has to offer. It's not a bad game by any stretch, but it may be best suited as a palate cleanser to play when you just want to burn a bit of rubber for 5 minutes or so. Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC probably could have benefited from a couch split-screen multiplayer or some different game modes to stretch it out. But as it stands, it's a competent racer that works, without having the fancy seat covers. For my racers looking into accessibility options, there are no additional driving assists, so as always, I recommend further research to see if Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC suits your needs. At just over $6 Australian, Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC is decent value that will vary depending on how much you like your top-down races. It follows all the road rules, so to speak, with good driving mechanics and a handful of cars and courses to tear around with. And it should be noted that this game was developed by a solo developer, which makes Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC particularly impressive considering that the game is available on several other platforms and it was a bug-free experience during my time on the Switch. Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC is kind of like buying your first car. It may not have all the bells and whistles of the deluxe model, but it will get you from A to B, and sometimes even C. Certainly one for the top-down racing fans. So, What's it like? Super Engine GT Turbo SPEC is like Micro Machines, with a low poly indie vibe. I award it a 62 out of 100. In the interest of full disclosure, a review copy was provided by the publisher, but this doesn't influence my score. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you liked it, the best way you can support What's It Like is by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends. For more reviews, click on the thumbnails to the right, and for everything Nintendo, check out what'sitlike.com.au.